Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's a beautiful morning in November, nearly December. You can put your Christmas tree up soon. We've done a lot of fiddling and maintenance videos lately, so it's time for an outing on a nice day. I'm heading down towards the Cotswolds to a little place called Bourton-on-the-Water, hopefully to show you one of my favourite places in the world. It's about 12-13 degrees C today, so it's not too cold. I've started riding already, 20 minutes in. Let's hit the road. Hey, DJI just released the Mic Mini, which would fit inside a helmet a lot better. I'd like to give that a try. Here comes somebody. Hiya! Hey, you guys! Wait for me! They look like dirt bikes. They're not going on the roads, are they? Okay, man, it's good to be out on a proper adventure again. We've had a lot of rain lately. Roads are a bit wet, things are a bit muddy, but other than that, it's all good. Wood Farm Christmas trees, Bills Lane, Shirley. Next week. So I went down to the Honda shop the other day in Stratford. I didn't film anything. Maybe I could. I sat on a few bikes, talked to the guy there. Just wondered, you know, what bike would be next after this one. Don't panic, I'm not changing anytime soon. I'm interested in the GB350 when that comes out next year. I like the NX 500 and the, the Scrambler, what's that called? The CL. I like the Forza 350 as well. I thought it would feel too bulky and plasticky, but you could flat foot it easily and maneuver it well. I didn't like the ADV 350 as much, just because you've got a sort of a wide leg stance and to put your feet down, it doesn't feel as reassuring. Oh, look at that. So there are a number of great motoring museums, if that's the kind of thing you're into, some of them around here. Have you ever been to the Coventry Transport Museum? It's impressive. It's so well designed and it's big, and they've got some amazing exhibits in there. They've got Thrust 2 and Thrust SSC, two land speed record breaking cars. Near the end, the Thrust SSC, if you don't know, it looks like a fighter jet without wings, and that's basically what it is. The first car, I think, to break the speed of sound, and they've got the current model of a car called Bloodhound, which is supposedly going to be capable of breaking 1,000 miles per hour. That's an impressive and slick museum to visit. We've also got Gaydon around here, which is obviously got a lot to do with the heritage of Land Rover, Jaguar Land Rover, and lots of very fine specimens and very unusual and interesting individual cars, like prototypes and things. We went to Bewley a couple of years ago, which is not around here, but Bewley Estate down in the New Forest, and that place is incredible if you've ever been. It's huge. It's a bit like a little theme park about cars. You know, there's a Top Gear land where all the ridiculous things that they built on Top Gear have ended up on display. But the Cotswolds Motoring Museum has a very special place in my heart. I don't use the phrase Aladdin's cave on principle. I will use the phrase treasure trove. It's really quite special. It's not the biggest museum in the world. It's not tiny, it's medium. But they've probably got about as many exhibits as a big museum in a little space. And Bourton-on-the-Water is a lovely place to visit. The only problem is everybody else knows that too. On a bank holiday weekend or a half-term or something, the place is heaving, coach loads of tourists. I realise I am part of the problem, not part of the solution, but sorry about that. I haven't yet been to a place called the Great British Car Journey, I think it's called, in the Peak District, is it? Oh gosh, I don't know. And I'm also interested in the Haynes Motor Museum, which is somewhere I want your suggestions though. If there's any other motoring or aircraft or museum, the things I like, that you've been to, you can recommend. Let me know. I appreciate it. Duxford was awesome, but it doesn't have to be a big place like that. There's some really charming small museums that are a labour of love by the people who run them. Oh my gosh, how could I have forgot the National Motorcycle Museum, which is in Solihull. They've got the biggest collection of vintage and old and interesting motorcycles, and not much else besides. It is just row after row of motorbikes. And I noticed when you went in there, you thought, oh, it's nice to see them, but is it really going to be worth the visit? And then you start to read the information, and it's really interesting. This bike here is an example of the first kind to use this type of engine, or this bike here was a collaboration between these two manufacturers, and it was a short-lived example or something. Lots of interesting stories, and you get the history of the engine and the different technologies. I found that really interesting. I hope you can see all right. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, coming into Stratford, which is on our way to pretty much everywhere. I'm going to stop and clean the visor. This is getting annoying. Careful, careful. What's this? Much better. Yeah, I'm not really stopping here, just taking a little break. The village of Treddington is just ridiculously cute. Look at this place. I'm sure this must have been used as a film set for Downton or something. Don't even bother firing up rightmove.co.uk. This is in the price bracket of don't even think about it. What's down here? I hope I'm not terrorising these people with my scary motorbike. I'm just visiting. This looks like it goes nowhere. What are we doing? Oh my god. Look at this place. Yeah, that's a private garden. Okay. But can you get a kebab at 3 o'clock in the morning? No. Can you get a haircut from your choice of 7 different Turkish barbers? No. Who'd want to live so far away from an Asda megastore, hey? Not me. Oh no. Oh, look, his bag's wide open as well. Shit. What a twit, riding down the road with his bag wide open and the mic clipped to the jacket instead of inside the helmet. And now we're coming into a nice little town called Shipston. Ooh, it's rush hour in Shipston, look. I want to go west. Where's the sun? It's morning, sun's there. South. Yeah, I think so. This is what it's all been about for me. Riding in the countryside, visiting little places, interesting trips. We don't need to go at 90 miles an hour. So now we've got all these lovely little villages of Chipping Campden and Moreton in the Marsh and Stow on the Wold. And my plan is just to head down that way and look for signs to Bourton on the Water. It's nice not to use sat-nav. You get to know the place a bit more. Coming in now to Moreton in the Marsh, which has a co-op. Straight ahead. Get some real heavy trafficy bits here. But this last bit always seems to take a while with traffic. Let's get in here. Here we are, coming into Bourton on the Water. Now there's a great big car park here. We'll give it a try. There is parking in the town centre, in the village rather, for motorbikes, but I don't think there's anywhere to lock the bike to. I'm not totally sure if there is here either. There's loads to see here. There's a maze, there's birdland, there's a model village if you want to be a big cop in a small town, and my favourite, the motor museum. I'm going through there, you're too slow. These boxes are so handy. Well, there is parking in the village, but so I've got something to lock it to. I'm going to go here. Not going to be a car. Ugh. Right. It's a massive, great car park for such a small place because they've got so many tourists that come here, including me. Right, I'm going to have to top up the camera before we get to the museum, but check this out, handy, eh? We've got USB-A there, or USB-C, and then on the other end we've got lightning for the phone, or USB-C, top up the camera. Only problem is this whole connector becomes quite long, so in your phone you could more easily snap it off maybe. Anyway, I'm charging up the camera before we get in. It's a charming little place, or at least it would be if it weren't for all the tourists, of which I am one, absolutely. The river passes right through the village where there are these 5 or so very low bridges over the water. It's been raining heavily, so the water's high today, or high for Bourton. It's about 1 foot deep. I reckon the ducks here don't really have to swim.
they just like to. People are trying hard to get the perfect selfie.
I'll get me a drink.
It's odd really, because it's not one of those fake places they designed to be a tourist attraction that's doing the job it was meant for. It really is a quaint little village, but it's just steadily become more and more popular, and there's no way to stop it, is there? You can't say, oh, come and visit Bourton, but not too often please, or, you know, it's a lovely English countryside village, but just, you know, I don't know. The businesses obviously need the custom. I bet if you go right next door, the next village down, it'll be quieter. Here we are, got these odd little footbridges. I almost feel bad for being here. We came here once in the summer and the place was just heaving. Every bit of the grass here had people picnicking on it, like it was a park in central London. Really weird. Anyway, we're here for a specific purpose today, and it's right in front of me, the Cotswolds Motor Museum. Hi, one grown-up, please. Maybe. Oh, thanks. I'll say from the start, this place is amazing, and I'm never going to be able to show you everything, and I wouldn't if I could, because you have to come here for yourself. There are 8 rooms the size of this one, and whereas in other museums every item might be individually catalogued and labelled, in this museum you get the impression that there's a lot of stuff that's just in here. And I'm sure someone who runs the place knows about everything that's here, but there's so much to see. The Sunbeam 347cc Model 2. And a beautiful old Indian here. Wow. That engine. Any caravan enthusiasts? This is what holidays look like. So this bike is a Brockhouse Corgi, which I've always been fascinated with. It's like a tiny miniature foldable motorbike that is a descendant of something called, I think it was called the Welford bike, but it was roughly the same shape, developed by the SOE in World War II to be parachuting out of planes. So spies or paratroopers or someone could ride them to the front line. And then after the war, they were a sort of small, convenient, compact way of getting around before scooters became more popular, I suppose. This one's from 1950. There are a lot of cabinets of what I guess I would call additional stuff here. Collections that someone sometime has donated, or that were just too important to lose, but maybe they don't belong in a motor museum. Just doesn't matter. There's just loads of interesting stuff here. If you're of a certain age, you'll appreciate seeing a children's TV star here. Brum was a remote control model car that was named after the city of Birmingham, that he drove around in all by himself. I just love the mannequins with tape recorders in their tummies.
Them 2 old boys down there can't see the future. The future is the motor car. You don't have to feed it, shoe it, or have a vet look at it. Just have to keep an eye on the water and tyres, petrol. You get petrol into your own cash from the chemist, hardware shops, and hotels, and we got this new petrol pump installed.
Yeah, this pump is much better as we get more cars around. It'll be much easier. Those 2-gallon cans.
So these guys are proud of their newfangled petrol pump, because before that, apparently you had to buy petrol in 2-gallon metal cans and just carry them in the boot of your car. This display explains the rules of moto football played on motorbikes. People were a different breed back then. It's just a brilliant idea. To be a motorist back in these days, the 30s I guess, was to be a mechanic to some extent. You didn't just drive a car like you do now. You had to fiddle with the mixture and the idle and fix things, and things would break, and there would be these out-of-town garages with lathes where they would make parts for you if they didn't have something in stock. And people would keep spare parts in the car, like points and distributor caps and stuff that nowadays we take for granted. Right, we're heading into one of my favourite bits of the museum, mostly just because a thought occurred to me one time, which is that what if this was your garage? What if you had a place like this? Years ago, I believe in Cambridge, there was a guy called Clive Sinclair who was an inventor who invented several things, and one of them thought that people in the future would be driving around in these plastic bathtub vehicle things. There may even be one old eccentric in Cambridge who still drives one around from time to time, but I think most of them are in museums now. We learned all about the Norton Commando from Fort9's latest. Thank you very much. Nice to take a little outside detour in the middle of your discovery. There's also an enormous collection of old toys here, which could either be creepy or nostalgic, depending on your age, I suppose. What a cool place. I think I've been to the museum 4 times now, but there's always something new to see every time because there's so much packed in there. Right, time for some grub and a little walk around Bourton. So I'm not saying it's shallow or anything, but this dog is only wet up to the up to the hips. Here's the ford. You can drive through here if you've got the vehicle for it. It looks about 1.5 feet, 2 feet deep, so I'm not going to chance it. Got myself a sausage roll and a chocolate thingy. Well, Bourton on the Water is a quaint and charming, picturesque place to visit. It's just that everyone else knows it too, so if you can manage to come on a quieter time, you might appreciate it. But the Cotswold Motor Museum was lovely. I enjoyed my visit very much. There's always something new to see every time, so if you haven't been, I'd recommend it. Over to you. Where next? Give me your recommendations. Where should we go on a little trip next time the weather's good? I'm going to head home and enjoy the ride without worrying about filming anything. So thanks for joining me on another little adventure, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye.